Proceed, counsel.
Can you state your name for the court?
My name is Hayden Duran.
And how are you involved in this case, Ms. Lee?
I am the mother of Jesse Duran.
Can you explain your relationship with Jesse?
Well, it's always just been me and Jesse against the world. It's really brought us very close.
Now, are you familiar with Andy and Lee Park?
Yes, I am. I actually met Andy the day Jesse was born. We became really close friends after that.
Are you familiar with their daughter, Sydney Park?
I am.
Could you describe Sydney and Jesse's relationship?
They were the best of friends. It was so sweet. Every time we would go anywhere together, everyone would think they were sisters because they were just so close.
Now, Mr. Ann, moving on to August 18th, 2010, do you remember how that day started for you?
Started like a normal day. It was just me and Jessie. We getting ready. I made sure she had her breakfast. I had to get to work, so I dropped her off over at the park house like usual.
Who was at the Park's house when you dropped Jesse off?
Well, Andy was there, like usual, Sydney as well, but Danny Brooks, their babysitter, was not there.
Is that unusual?
Yes, whenever else I would drop Jesse off, Danny would be there.
Now, who was supposed to be watching Jesse and Sydney while you were at work?
Well, since Danny couldn't be there that day, the neighbor across the street, Keith Dunlap, he was supposed to be checking in on the girls.
Now, why did you leave Jesse in the household with a neighbor that was going to be just checking in on them?
I trusted them. Simple as that. I trusted the Parks to have a safe home for my daughter. I trusted them to have somewhere that she could be safe. They betrayed that trust.
Now, moving on to while you were at work, how did you find out about the incident that happened on August 18, 2010?
I got a call. My heart dropped to the ground. I was told there was an accident at the park house and I had to get home. I rushed there as fast as I could.
What did you see upon entering the Park's residence?
I got there, I ran to the first uniform I could find and I was demanding answers. I wanted to know what was wrong. I wanted to know what happened. They took me inside and I knew it was Sydney. I could see her under the sheet. She was laying there. I broke. I wanted to know where Jessie was. They took me into the kitchen and I saw her. I ran to my daughter. I wanted to console her. They wouldn't let me.
How did Jessie appear when you arrived?
She was so alone. She was just sitting there. I wanted to hug her.
Now, Mr. Ann, after the accident, what went on in the preceding months?
They tried to charge Jessie, and we went to court, and the judge, they dismissed her into my care. I took some time off work. We got really close. I just spent time with my daughter.
Were you in court today when witnesses were testifying?
Yes, it's been really hard to relive that day.
Were you aware of a document titled Me and My Gun?
I am. It was a project that Jessie did.
Would you recognize this document if it was shown to you today in court?
I would.
Your Honor, may I approach and
You may.
intrude evidence? May I approach the witness?
You may.
Thank you.
Mr. Raymond, what is it that I just handed you?
The project that Jessie did.
going on in the second picture?
Well, she's playing a video game, in the picture.
Was it often that Jessie played with video games involving guns?
Yes, her and Sydney both, they really did like video games.
And what precautions did you take in the matter of them playing these games?
Well, whenever I would buy Sydney a new game, I would make sure to always sit down with her. I would play it with her for a little while, making sure she understood that everything that was on the screen was fake, not real, that real guns kill people, and she understood.
Was there a gun in your household at any point before August 18, 2010?
Of course not. I don't want guns in my home. I wouldn't even buy Jessie those gun attachments that go in the games. I feel very uncomfortable about having a gun in my home, and I didn't think it was necessary to have anything like that.
And now in court today, it was brought up that you actually hung this photo on your refrigerator. Why did you do that?
Well, since it's just me and Jessie, I always want her to know that I support her. And she would always bring me pictures. I would always hang them on the fridge. She would just be so proud of them. And I loved just seeing her drawings. I was really proud of her.
Mr. Ann, were you also present in court today when a notification of student discipline came into the record?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I retrieve that evidence?
You may.
May I approach the
You may.
Mr. Ann, what is it that I just handed you?
This is a notification of student discipline I got from Jessie's school.
And now, can you explain what happened for Jessie, in order for Jessie to get this incident reported?
Well, from what I read through the document and from when I sat down and I spoke with Jessie about what happened, they were playing a game, much like the dodgeball game, where instead of getting out and standing to the side, you had to lay down and play like you were dead. And the other children weren't playing by the rules. And so when she hit them with the ball, she told them that they were supposed to lay down and die because that was the game that they were playing.
Was this concerning to you at all?
No. Children play games, especially at a school-sanctioned game. I am not concerned.
Did you ever discipline Jessie in any way for this document?
Well, I did indeed take away her video game privileges for the week that she was suspended from school. I talked to her about it. I didn't feel the need to have excessive discipline when the issue wasn't that large.
And Mr. Ann, were you also present in court today when the email was brought in that you sent to a friend, Casey French?
Yes.
May I approach and retrieve evidence? Thank you. May I approach the
You may.
Mr. Ann, what is it that I just handed you?
This is an email I sent to my friend Casey French.
And Mr. Ann, why did you send this email?
Just checking in, asking about her life, filling her in on mine.
Now, can you read what exactly you said about, I don't know, being a worry ward?
Oh, well, there was just some issues with like video games sometimes, and I just said I was being a worry wart because being a single parent, I wasn't sure if I was doing it right all the time or if I was perfect, you know? I can't be perfect, but I just decided I was a worry wart. Shouldn't look too far into that.
And can you read the last line of the document before you say that you sign off?
Well, I
Objection, Your
sometimes,
Honor. Cumulative evidence.
Document does speak for itself. Document's already been admitted into evidence. You can ask her to explain the sentence, but she doesn't need to read it.
Yes, Your Honor. Can you explain the last sentence on the bottom of this document and what you meant by it?
well, just regardless of everything, I know my daughter is a good kid and that she would never hurt anyone.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. M. At this time, Your Honor, may I collect the evidence from the witness and tender
You
it
may.
to them?
Did you say you were ready to tender the witness?
Mhm.
Did you say you were ready to tender the witness?
No, I'm ready to tender this to the bench. And at this time, there's no further questions.
You are ready to tender the witness. Cross-examination,
Yes, Your Honor.
you may proceed.